Hey there tech enthusiasts, welcome to Code 3. In this video, we're going to learn about CSS in JavaScript. So basically CSS in JavaScript is a technique that allows you to write your CSS code inside your JavaScript file. And this has a lot of advantages, like it offers flexibility, maintainability, and a cleaner code base. So now let's jump right in. What is CSS in JS? It's basically a pattern where CSS is composed using JavaScript instead of defined in external library files. So you don't create like external CSS files for your project. You compose your CSS inside your JavaScript file. And we can basically write all our styles next to our definitions or components in a JavaScript or Typescript file. And it has a lot of advantages, like it helps solve common issues, common CSS issues like global namespaces, dependencies, dead code elimination, and minification. And in this approach, all styles are written in JavaScript and applied directly to components. And I will talk about all of this in a minute. So as I said, one of the benefits is scoped styles. So basically when you have a CSS file in your CSS code in another file, and when you want to delete your JavaScript file or your component in React, you have to delete your code or CSS file as well. So it is a very hard process if your project is very complicated. But using CSS in JS allows you to delete one file and it will delete both your JavaScript and CSS code. The second one is dynamic styling. Writing CSS in JavaScript allows you to style your component based on its state and props. And I will talk about this in more detail in the video. And it also helps us write reusable components, so we can make copies of our component and use it over and over. And as I said, it's easier to delete a component. So when we delete our JavaScript file, our CSS file will be gone as well. And now let's talk about the libraries. There are many libraries that implement this styling approach. Some of the most common ones are style components, emotion, polish, JSS, and so on. So in this video, we're gonna see style components or use style components. So how it works. CSS and JS libraries typically work by generating unique class names for components. And styles defined in JavaScript are converted into CSS either at build time or runtime. So when you write your styles in JavaScript, it's converted to CSS. And these styles are then injected into the DOM, often in the style tags or through other efficient means. And components use these generated classes to ensure styles are applied uniquely and consistently. So here we are inside our code. We have app.tsx and product.tsx. So this is basically a React project, and in the main component or the app, we are returning the product. So here we have a component called product, and we are basically returning a list of products for a company, Eco Smart Home Innovation. So this is Eco Smart Home Innovation product catalog. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so here we have let products. We have our products here, and if the length of the products is 0, we're going to return this. Otherwise, if we have products, we're going to return them in a list. So products.map, and then we're going to render them or render the list. So now let's say that we want to style our component. So to use style components, you have to first download it. So if you haven't installed it yet, you can type npm install styled components. And after that, you have to import it to your projects using import styled from styled components. So the way we use this is like this. Let's say we want to create, we want to style the UL. So what we do is we type styled.ul and backstick And inside this, we write our CSS. So let's say background color orange. And remember that when we use styled.ul, it returns a new React component. So we're gonna store it here. And here's our brand new component. And now we can replace our UL with it. And now it should work. As you can see, the UL, the background, is now changed to orange. So as I said before, styled is coming from here. It's an object coming from styled components, and this is this object returns a new React component. And it's very important that you name your React component in capital. So UL. I mean, the first letter should be in capital. So this is basically how we can style our component. So this is the product component by combining our JavaScript and CSS code together. And if you remember, I said that using this technique allows us to style a component based on its props or state. So what do I mean by that? So here we have, as you can see here, we have a list of items. And now let's say that the third one is the best product, or the product that everybody bought or everybody buys. So in that case, we want to change its color. So this is going to be through a state. Now I'm going to explain what I mean. So let's define a state. As you know, we can use state, and we can pass the index of the product. So let's say we want to pass 2, and this is going to return an array. So we're going to destructure it, and let's call it best product, select best product. So this is the setter, and this is the best product, and the index is 2. And now we want to say that, so here, as you can see, we are basically iterating through the products item. And now we want to say if we are at the second index, we want to change the color. So how we can do that is here we can pass an attribute, like let's say best, and now we pass a conditional. Let's say if index is equal to the best product index, so let's call it index so that it's more intuitive, is equal to best product index. In that case, we apply the style that's defined in best. So as you can see, that this is our component, and best is our prop. So it is passed to it. So we can create a new list item because we're designing the lists. So let's say list style.li, and this returns a new list component. And let's say we want to change the color. We want to change the color to blue, or let's say, yeah, blue is good. But now if we replace this, everything is going to be blue. So we want to pass a prop to it, or a condition. So let's define it here. Interface best product props. And what was the prop? It was best. And it is a Boolean value. And now we can pass the shape of the component to our new component, best product prop. And then here we can pass a conditional, so it's going to be in JavaScript. So let's say we have props, and these props have it has a Boolean best. So we use a ternary operator. If it is true, we set the color to blue. Otherwise, we set it to nothing. And yeah, it works. So this is how we can change or how we can style our component using its prop instead. And it is a lot easier as opposed to using an external CSS file. If you have any questions, please comment, and please don't forget to subscribe and like. Have a great day.